Well, guys, it's now time to finally react to the 2026 NFL schedule release. As this is the first time since 2016, I think the first year I did this, that I did not stream it as I had to work. So now that I'm back home, it's time to finally react to the schedule. Hey, you know what? It's nice too that I can actually press the button and just instantly load. Because remember all the years before where it takes forever and ever and ever. Now let's finally check it out. And before going into it, I know some of the games. All right, I already know about the international games, like the first one, France and Australia. I know about the Thanksgiving games. I know about the first Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night games of the year. All right, so anyways, let's get started, shall we? Let's see who starts in week 1 and who do the Seahawks play in the kickoff game. So here we go. They're going to have the Super Bowl rematch. I was hoping that would be the option. Let's go! Patriots at the Seahawks to start off the year. Let's go! The rematch already. I had to wonder if they were going to do it because there were so many options that were like removed because of all the other games come up. So then, of course, this is going to be on a Wednesday instead of Thursday because they're going to have the first international game on Thursday. 49ers at Rams, the first game in Australia. That'll be quite interesting to see. So let's get to the rest of the schedule. Bears at Panthers. That'll be interesting divisional teams. Playoff teams, remember. Buccaneers at Bengals. That could be high-flying offense. Saints at Lions. Bills at Texans in week 1. Wow! I didn't think they were going to be this early. Oh boy! That's going to be interesting. Ravens at Colts. That'll be interesting. Browns at Jaguars. Falcons at Steelers. Jets at Titans. And then the 4 p.m. games, Cardinals at Chargers. Dolphins at Raiders. Packers at Vikings. I'm surprised they did that for a 4 p.m. game. Commanders at Eagles. I'm also surprised they did that for a 4 p.m. game as well. Don't think it was really valid. Here we go. The first Sunday game, Cowboys at Giants. I don't agree with that. If they're going to have it, it should have been at the Cowboys instead, since remember that overtime game last year was wild. Then the Monday night, Broncos at Chiefs. That'll be interesting, since who knows if Mahomes is going to be playing, but I'm fine with that. So yeah, interesting. I'm really surprised Bills Texans this early on. If anything, I think that should have maybe been Sunday night instead if they're not going to change Cowboys Giants around. All right, so here we go now into week 2. We already know the first Thursday night game is going to be Lions at Bills, which I'm also surprised this early on. And on Thursday night, I would expect this more like a Sunday night matchup. That's going to be huge. Man, the Bills are going to be a tough spot if they lose the Texans and they have to play the Lions next week. That's 0-2 possible. All right, then, Panthers at Falcons. That's going to be big because that could be the division lead on the line right there. Oh, man, Saints got to play 2 tough teams to start off the year on the road. Oh, that's going to be tough. Vikings at Bears. That's going to be big because that could be a division lead on the line. Bengals at Texans. Oh, man. Texans got a tough start, too, right there. Oh, boy. Steelers at Patriots. Packers at Jets. Browns at Buccaneers. Wow, Buccaneers got to play AFC North start off the year. Eagles at Titans. 2 home games for Titans start off the year. All right, then the 4 p.m. games. Jaguars at Broncos. I'm surprised they didn't do that for a night game. I thought that was going to be big. Jaguars going to have a tough start to year, if I remember. Oh, yeah, they played the Browns. I mean, that's still going to be tough. Broncos got a tough start, too, because remember, the Jaguars destroyed them. Raiders at Chargers. Seahawks at Cardinals. Commanders at Cowboys. I don't agree with that for 4 p.m. game. And then Dolphins at 49ers on the Sunday night. Colts at Chiefs. Of course, they're going to have Chiefs playing 2 night games start off the year, even though who knows if Mahomes is playing. And of course, both teams had a losing record, but both teams last year, that was like the, that game between the two was like the season-defining moment for both teams. Because after that loss, the Colts never won again. After that win, the Chiefs never won again. So I'm still fine with that, but I think they could have maybe picked a better option. Monday night, Giants at Rams. So now the Giants are going to get 2 night games start of the year. Again, just like the Chiefs, I think that's stupid. And I don't think that's a good matchup for Monday night either. Giants at Rams. No. Even though I do think the Giants will do a lot better this year. All right, week 3. Thursday night will be Falcons at Packers. Interesting. Chargers at Bills. That'll be interesting. Panthers at Browns. Jets at Lions. Texans at Colts. That could be big. Patriots at Jaguars, that's going to be big. Man, the Patriots are going to have a tough start to the year. At the Seahawks, at the Jaguars, are going to host the Steelers, who beat them last year. 0-3 is a possibility. Chiefs at Dolphins, Titans at Giants, Bengals at Steelers, Seahawks at Commanders, and then 4 p.m. games, Cardinals at 49ers, Vikings at Buccaneers, that could be kind of big. Raiders at Saints, I'm surprised they did for 4 p.m. game. And they're going to have Ravens at Cowboys, the next international game in Brazil at the 4 p.m. slot instead of at its own day like they did the last 2 years. All right, then Sunday night, Rams at Broncos. Oh man, that could have almost been the Super Bowl, the conference championship runner-ups. Oh man, that's gonna be big. I think still the best team in the league going against the number one team in the AFC. That's gonna be huge. Rams at Broncos. And then Monday night, Eagles at Bears. I had a feeling they were going to do this, and not bad option since both teams made the playoffs last year 11-6 and all that, although I'm still not fully convinced on the Bears. At least they got this week, other than maybe the first night game, good. All right, week 4 to wrap up. Oh, going to October. Steelers at Browns. That's like common first night matchup. And then we get our first London game. This is the Colts at Commanders. Then Titans at Ravens. Patriots at Bills. That's going to be big. I was going to say maybe this should have been the night game matchup. But no, actually, at the Patriots would be bigger because that was a more important one. Jets at Bears. Jaguars at Bengals. Honestly, a little surprised they didn't do that for a night game because that comeback the Bengals had last year, remember? Cowboys at Texans. I'm very surprised they didn't do that for a night game because normally they would. All right, Cardinals at Giants. Rams at Eagles. I'm surprised they didn't do that for a night game because that game was humongous. That was a huge game they had last year. Packers at Buccaneers. Then the 4 p.m. games. Dolphins at Vikings. Don't agree with that being 4 p.m. Chiefs at Raiders. Chargers at Seahawks. That's going to be big. Broncos at 49ers. Oh, man, that's going to be huge as well. All right, Sunday night. Lions at Panthers on Sunday night. Man, they're giving the Panthers a Sunday night game right there against the Lions. That's going to be interesting, but I don't know if the Panthers are going to show up. And then Monday night, Falcons at the Saints. I don't know if I agree with that. I know the Falcons beat the Saints when they last played in season finale at Atlanta. I can't remember the results in New Orleans, but I don't think I agree with that. But man, Lions Panthers Sunday night, that's an odd choice to me. All right, here we go now, week 5, as it's Buccaneers at Cowboys. High offensive teams, that will be interesting. Then how about that, Eagles and Jaguars for the next London game. Insane matchup. And find up to the last, 2 times now that Eagles visited the Jaguars, it's in London. Man, Eagles fans at Jacksonville cannot get a break. All right, then afterwards, Bengals at Dolphins. Raiders at Patriots. Vikings at Saints. And then Browns at Jets. Colts at Steelers. Surprised they pushed that a little bit higher on the list since that game was big last year. Texans at Titans. Giants at Commanders. Then we get to the 4 p.m. games. Broncos at Chargers. That'll be big. Lions at Cardinals. Bears at Packers. All right, so I'm fine with that. Maybe they'll have the Bears game a night game, which I won't have a problem with like I normally would. 49ers and Seahawks. Oh, that's going to be big. All right, Sunday night. Ravens at Falcons for Sunday night. That's interesting. Hopefully the Falcons defense shows up like they did the first part of the year. And then Monday night, Bills at Rams for Monday night. Oh, that's going to be insane. Huge match right there. I like that one right there. All right, now we go into week 6. It's Seahawks at Broncos. The number 1 seeds last year. I'm surprised they did this for Thursday night. Probably the biggest matchup on Thursday night in a long time. That's going to be huge. And then we got a huge AFC South matchup in London as it's the Texans at Jaguars. That is going to be huge if both teams show up, which I'm a little bit sussy on. All right, then the rest of the week. Bears at Falcons. That could be interesting. Ravens at Browns. Titans at Colts. Jets at Patriots. Saints at Giants. That could be interesting. Panthers at Eagles. That will be interesting. Remember the game 2 years ago. Steelers at Buccaneers. That could be interesting. Then Cardinals at Rams. Chargers at Chiefs. Ooh, that'll be interesting. Bills at Raiders. Then the Sunday night. Cowboys at Packers, of course. Of course they're going to do that. I'm not surprised. Although I don't know if I agree with that. And Monday night. Commanders at 49ers. That's a strange option. Why? I mean, Panthers, Eagles, Steelers, Buccaneers, Chargers, Chiefs. Hell, even maybe Bears, Falcons could probably pick. Or even flip that around and put Seahawks, Broncos Sunday night or Monday night. That would make more sense. All right, here we go now in the week 7. As it's Patriots at Bears on Thursday night. I had a feeling that was going to get a night game too. All right, then here we go. Our first game in France, the Steelers at Saints. That'll be interesting. Then 49ers at Falcons. That'll be interesting. Bengals at Ravens. That could be big if the Bengals and Ravens show up. Buccaneers at Panthers. That's going to be huge. If the Panthers want to show they can repeat, they got to beat the Bucs like they did last year when they played them. Giants at Texans. Colts at Vikings. Dolphins at Jets. Browns at Titans in the 4 p.m. games. Broncos at Cardinals. Packers at Lions. I'm surprised they didn't do that maybe for a night game. That's going to be big. Rams at Raiders. All right, Sunday night is Chiefs at Seahawks. I had a feeling they were going to do this, and I don't know if I agree with that. Especially since who knows if Mahomes will be ready, but I'm sure he'll probably be ready by that because it'll been almost a year. Then Monday night, Cowboys at Eagles. I think Abe actually maybe should have been at the Cowboys instead, because that game was more of a comeback right there, if you remember. Remember the Eagles were up like 20-0 and they blew it? I think that should have been at the Cowboys instead of at the Eagles, but I'm fine with that either way. All right, now we get to week 8, as we're now getting into November. Panthers at Packers on Thursday night. That's going to be interesting. That will be interesting. Remember, the Panthers beat the Packers on the road last year. And Ravens at Bills. I'm surprised they didn't do this for a night game. I was expecting that. Surprised. Very surprised. Especially that incredible choke job the Ravens did. So that's a 1 p.m. game. Titans at Bengals. Cardinals at Cowboys. Vikings at Lions. That could be big in the NFC North. Colts at Jaguars. That could be big. Raiders at Jets. Browns at Steelers. Falcons at Buccaneers. That could be big. Remember the Thursday night game last year. Then we get to the 4 p.m. games. Chargers at Rams. That's going to be interesting. Chiefs at Broncos could be interesting. Patriots at Dolphins, a late game surprise. All right, Sunday night is Eagles at Commanders. Why? Why not the... I don't even agree with it being at the Eagles. At least when it was at the Eagles, it was a close game. No, should not be Sunday night Eagles Commanders. That's a terrible option. And then Monday night is Bears at Seahawks. Again, another matchup I was expecting I'm fine with, but not Eagles Commanders. They already did Chiefs Broncos night game, so maybe Chargers Rams, Falcons Buccaneers, maybe Colts Jaguars, Lions Vikings, Ravens Bills. How about put Ravens and Bills Sunday night again like last year? That would have been fine with that. All right, now we're fully into November now, the halfway mark. So Jaguars and Ravens on Thursday night. That will be interesting. Maybe a beautiful defensive struggle. All right, then we get to our Spain game as Bengals at Falcons. That'll be interesting. All right, then Broncos, Panthers, interesting. Cowboys at Colts, high-flying offense, maybe. Jets at Chiefs, Lions at Dolphins, Browns at Saints, Giants at Eagles, Rams at Commanders. Then we get to the 4 p.m. games. Texans at Chargers, hard-fought game between those two, remember, for the playoff spot. That's going to be a big defensive struggle. Raiders at 49ers, Packers at Patriots. About time they didn't do it for a Sunday night game for once. And Cardinals, Seahawks in the Sunday night game. Buccaneers at Bears. Now that's interesting. Buccaneers at Bears for Sunday night. Not bad. And Monday night, Bills at Vikings? Really? Bills at Vikings for Monday night? No. Packers, Patriots would probably make more sense. Texans, Chargers. I would love that if it was a defensive struggle. Oh, man, I would love that. Hell, maybe even Cowboys, Colts would probably make more sense. Or Broncos, Panthers. But I don't agree with Bills, Vikings for Monday night. All right, here we go. Week 10 is it's going to be Commanders at Giants for that Thursday night game. Then we get our Germany game, Patriots and Lions. I thought that was going to be a Sunday night game like it was, remember, 2018. Or maybe a Thanksgiving game. But not to be. All right, then after that, the rest of the week, Chiefs at Falcons. Texans at Browns. Vikings at Packers. That could be big. Dolphins at Colts. Panthers at Saints. That could be a big division matchup. Bills at Jets. Jaguars at Titans in the 4 p.m. games. Rams at Cardinals. Seahawks at Raiders. 49ers at Cowboys. That will be big, potentially. Sunday night is Steelers at Bengals. Well, that was a comeback, remember, when the Bengals won that game, so I guess that's okay. Monday night, Chargers at Ravens. Oh, boy. We're going to go with that again. Hardball Bowl number 4. Let's see. Oh, that's right. No. That's right. John's not the Ravens anymore. But that's still a big game. That'll be a beautiful defensive struggle, potentially. Oh, boy. Who will choke worse, Sherbert or Lamar Jackson? That'll be funny. All right, here we go now for Week 11. Colts at Texans. That's going to be big for a Thursday night game. Man, that went right down to the wire of the season finale. Then Dolphins at Bills. Ravens at Panthers. That could be interesting. Saints at Bears. Titans at Cowboys. Buccaneers at Lions. Remember last year's Monday night game? They downgraded to a 1 p.m. game. Cardinals at Chiefs. Jaguars at Giants. That could be interesting if the Giants show up. All right, then the 4 p.m. games, Jets at Chargers, Raiders at Broncos, Steelers at Eagles, of course, the 4 p.m. game. Sunday night is Vikings at 49ers, which, of course, is the Mexico City game. And I don't really agree with that unless the Vikings show up, which I don't believe they will. Monday night, Bengals at Commanders. I don't think I agree with that, and they better hope the Commanders show up like they did in the 2024 game. Remember on that Monday night game, Jaden Daniels cooked. All right, here we go. Now for Week 12 as we get our Thanksgiving games. As he'll start. Wait. Oh, whoa. So there's a Wednesday game instead before Thanksgiving? Is that legit, or is that like a screw up on the schedule? I mean, the site. So apparently, Packers at Rams the day before Thanksgiving. That's odd. Because I heard Matthew said that was the Thanksgiving game, but this is the day before Thanksgiving, so I'm not going to say anything yet about the Thanksgiving game. I'm just going to wait and see before we find out about the night Thanksgiving game. So first up, the first Thanksgiving game, Bears at Lions. I don't agree with that. I swear the Lions have played the Bears and Packers 4 years in a row on Thanksgiving. 2023 Packers, 2024 Bears, 2025 Packers, now 2026 Bears again. No, I don't agree with that. Have them play someone else who hasn't played in a long time. Then Eagles at Cowboys. The Eagles, they haven't played they played in 2015 at the Lions on Thanksgiving. For some reason, I keep feeling like they played on Thanksgiving beforehand, recently as well, but it's not coming to my head. That one I'm okay with, but I think there could have been a better option. But is that the actual night game? So Chiefs at Bills is going to be the Sunday night game for Thanksgiving. Wow, I did not expect that. I knew, of course, they were going to have probably have a night game eventually with these two, but Thanksgiving, wow. All right, so now for this one, I don't agree with it. The Chiefs just played on Thanksgiving last year, and the Bills still have played on Thanksgiving way too many times recently. 2019 at the Cowboys, 2021 at the Saints, then 2022 at the Lions. So, yeah, I don't agree with this matchup. I'm really surprised they did for Thanksgiving, but no, I don't like that matchup. And Packers, Rams the day before Thanksgiving. That's a little odd. What about the Black Friday game? Yep, Black Friday, Broncos at Steelers. That will be interesting. Defensive struggle, perhaps. All right, then we get to the Sunday games. Saints at Bengals, Raiders at Browns, Ravens at Texans. Defensive struggle. That will be beautiful for me. Giants at Colts could be interesting. The Giants show up. Jets at Dolphins, Falcons at Vikings again for like the third year in a row. Then the 4 p.m. games. Titans at Jaguars. Commanders at Cardinals. Seahawks at 49ers. Oh boy, that's going to be huge in the Sunday night game. Patriots at Chargers on Sunday night. The wild card matchup. I don't know if I would do that, but hey, the Chargers are a good team, so I'm not going to complain too much. Monday night. Panthers at Buccaneers. Ooh boy, that's going to be awesome. That rainbow they had to wrap up the season last year. That will be an awesome Monday night game. Panthers at Buccaneers. Cannot wait for that. All right. But that still is very strange. Why are they having Packers Rams? Oh, and also screw you for having it on Netflix. Hopefully NFL Plus will cover it once again. All right, but anyways, here we go into December for Week 13. And it's going to be Chiefs at Rams right afterwards. Man. Oh, that's right. Thanksgiving games. Actually, no, the Rams aren't playing on Thanksgiving technically. They're playing the day before. But that's the common rule for the NFL for like the last since 2014. They have the Thursday night game after Thanksgiving. They have teams that play on Thanksgiving against each other. So Chiefs at Rams for Thursday night. And don't know if I would agree with that. Lions at Falcons could be interesting. Contrasting teams. Jaguars at Bears. That's going to be big. Bengals at Browns. Packers at Saints. 49ers at Giants. That could be interesting, even though the 49ers destroyed the Giants last year. Chargers at Buccaneers. That could be big. Commanders at Titans. All right, in the 4 p.m. games. Eagles at Cardinals. Dolphins at Broncos. Panthers at Vikings. Bills at Patriots. I'm surprised that didn't get a Sunday night game. I'm stunned. Then what's the Sunday night game here? Texans at Steelers for Sunday night, even though we just saw the Steelers get destroyed by Texans last year. No, I don't agree with that. Put Bills Patriots in instead. And in the Monday night game, Cowboys at Seahawks. Not surprised. And I don't know if I would agree with that. But Texans Steelers for Sunday night, no. No, I don't like that at all. All right, here we go. Week 14. Vikings at Patriots on Thursday night. I don't agree with that. And the Patriots have already played two Thursday night games technically, because the Seahawks kickoff game, that's a Sunday night game. So yeah, don't agree with that. Why are they having another Thursday night game? I thought we've agreed that we're not going to have all that happen in NFL. All right, then Buccaneers, Ravens, that could be big. Saints, Panthers could be interesting. Falcons, Browns. Hey, Kevin Stefanski going against his former team. That'll be interesting. Titans at Lions. Bears at Dolphins. Broncos at Jets. Colts at Eagles could be big. Texans at Commanders. Then the 4 p.m. games. Chargers at Raiders. Chiefs at Bengals. That will be interesting. Giants at Seahawks. That could be interesting too. Rams at 49ers. That's going to be big. Then the Sunday night game. Bills at Packers for Sunday night. I don't know if I agree with that for Sunday night. And Monday night, Steelers at Jaguars. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. But I don't know about Bills, Packers Sunday night, and I don't agree with Patriots, Vikings for Thursday night. All right, week 15 now. So 49ers at Chargers on Thursday night. That's going to be big. Really huge. Seahawks at Eagles for Saturday. That's going to be big. And then Bears at Bills right afterwards. All these free games right here, right off the bat, big ones right there. All right, then Bengals at Panthers. That'll be a big one too. Dolphins at Packers. Jaguars, Texans again. That's going to be huge. That comeback game they had last year. Maybe they should have had that for a night game. Browns at Giants. Ravens at Steelers. That'll be big. Saints, Buccaneers. Colts at Titans. Falcons at Commanders. Then the 4 p.m. games. Jets at Cardinals. Cowboys at Rams. Broncos at Raiders on Sunday night. Lions at Vikings. I'm actually surprised they did that at the Vikings. Because remember, the Lions were horrible in that game. The Vikings played amazing when they visited the Lions. I think it should have been at the Lions instead. Although I still don't know if I agree with that matchup. And then Patriots and Chiefs for Monday night. Again, I had a feeling this would happen. And don't know if I'm going to complain about that one too much. All right, week 16 now. Christmas Eve game, Thursday night, Texans at Eagles. That will be big if the Texans manage to hold on. And Friday, Packers at Bears. I'm surprised that's not a night game. And then Bills at Broncos. Again, I'm also surprised that's not a night game. That's huge. And then Rams at Seahawks to wrap it up again on Thursday night. Well, actually, no, it's on Fox technically. But yeah, all 3 of these games, actually all 40 start off Christmas Eve and Christmas are huge. And in fact, playoff game rematch, and playoff game rematch too. Although this kind of gives me off the vibe of the Thursday night game in week 16 as well. But yeah, huge slate of games, and all of these should have been night games, honestly. Although technically one of them is. All right, then of course Browns at Ravens, Chargers at Dolphins, Cardinals at Saints, Patriots at Jets. Then the 4 p.m. games, Titans at Raiders, 49ers at Chiefs. That could be big, maybe. Sunday night, Jaguars at Cowboys. Nice to see Jaguars finally get a night game for once as they keep getting screwed over. At the Cowboys, that'll be interesting. Monday night, Giants at Lions. I like that. The Giants almost beat the Lions, remember? And the Giants, I figure, will be a lot better. So I'm fine with that. And of course, the final 5 games, or 4 games that are undecided right now. Buccaneers at Falcons. Bengals at Colts. That could be big. Buccaneers Falcons could be big too, remember? That comeback the Bucs had. Commanders at Vikings. And Panthers at Steelers. All right. I'm trying to think. No. I don't know, because I think some of these games, maybe 2 of them will be put to Saturday. Maybe that's what it's going to be. All right, here we go. Week 17, Ravens at Bengals. They're going to week 17. That could be big. AFC North on the line. Saints at Falcons. Seahawks at Panthers. The Seahawks visit the Panthers in week 17 as well. How about that? Just like they've hosted the Rams the previous week. Back-to-back years, that's going to be the case. That's going to be big, too. They usually go down to the wire when they visit the Panthers. Colts at Browns. Giants at Cowboys. That should have been the night game instead of the week 1. Bills at Dolphins. Vikings at Jets. Steelers at Titans. Raiders at Cardinals. Lions at Bears. That could be big. Sunday night, Eagles at 49ers. That will be big. The rematch from the wild card round 2. And Monday night will be Texans at Packers. Interested. It'll probably be a beautiful defensive struggle, which I love, of course. And then we get to the rest of the Saturday games. Commanders at Jaguars. Chiefs at Chargers. That could be big, baby. Broncos at Patriots. I'm surprised that's not a night game. That I thought was going to be one. Oh, boy. Very late in the year. And then Rams at Buccaneers to wrap up another big game, too. And, of course, we all know divisional matchups for Week 18. So, 49ers at Cardinals. Steelers at Ravens. Jets at Bills. Falcons at Panthers. I don't think the Falcons have ever visited the Panthers in the season finale since they started this division-only matchups. I think this is the first time, so nice that that's true. Browns at Bengals. Chargers at Broncos. That'll be big. Again, common matchup. Lions at Packers. It's been a long time, I think, since... Oh, no, it's 2022. That'll be a big game still. Titans at Texans. Jaguars at Colts. Raiders at Chiefs. Seahawks at Rams. That's going to be huge. Bears at Vikings could maybe be huge. Dolphins at Patriots. how they wrapped up last year in Buccaneers at Saints, Eagles at Giants, and Cowboys at Commanders. All right, so that's my reaction to the schedule. But one more thing left. Here we go, the NFL Project. Of course, as I always like to do, I like to tell you how I think the teams are going to do going into 2026 now. So, of course, this is how 2025 wrapped up with the stands in the playoffs matchups and all that. All right, so here's my predictions for the season. Patriots, I think, are going to regress this year. I think they'll be around like 10 wins or so. They got a tough schedule, and I don't think they're going to do well with the Super Bowl hangover, too. Bills, I think, are going to be about the same, and I think they'll take the AFC North, AFC East. Dolphins, I think, are going to suck, be like one of the worst teams in the league, and same goes for the Jets. Steelers are probably going to be about where they are right now, just enough to maybe make a wild card or maybe win the division, but not much else. Ravens, I think, will do slightly better to match the Steelers and contend for the division lead. Bengals, I think, will do better, but I don't think they're going to compete with the Ravens unless their defense shows up. Browns are going to be about probably the same. Jaguars, I think, could be a Super Bowl contender, but I don't fully trust Trevor Lawrence, so I could easily see this team completely folding like they did like in 2018, remember? So that's definitely possible. Texans, I don't think their defense is going to be elite like they were last year, and I don't trust Stroud at all, so I think they're going to also regress. The Colts are a complete wild card. I think I trust them the most of everyone in the AFC South, but you never know. Daniel Jones, the injury, and who knows if he'll still be effective, so that's another wild card. And the Titans, who knows how they're going to be. Like, I could easily see everyone in the AFC South contending for the title this year. It's not that simple for me. Broncos, like the Patriots, they have their elite defense, but all their games are way too close. And then, of course, the injury with Bo Nix, although I'm sure he'll be healthy by week 1. I think the Broncos are going to regress down to like 10 wins like the Patriots. Chargers, I don't see much of any changes whatsoever unless Sherbert actually plays good. The Chiefs, meanwhile, this might be surprising all of you, but I think the Chiefs actually, with the easier schedule and Mahomes eventually coming back, as long as he actually plays all 17 games, which who knows, but if he does, I can actually see Chiefs contending for the AFC West. I know it's a bold take, but I trust them to potentially do it because I don't trust the Broncos and Chargers. And the Raiders are the Raiders. Eagles, I think, will win the NFC East. Cowboys, I think, will be about the same. Commanders, maybe slightly better, but not much difference. The Giants, meanwhile, I think are going to have... I think the Giants, with Neighbors back, Scatterboo healthy, and a second year with Jackson Dart and Harbaugh, I think the Giants could be around 500 team. They probably won't win the division. They might not get close to a wild card, but I think the Giants will actually do good this year. It's been a long time since I had faith in the Giants. Bears, I think, are going to regress. They're going to have a tough schedule, and I don't think their defense is good. Caleb Williams is good, but not like elite yet that they're going to really need. So I think the Bears are probably going to take a big regression down to like around 500, under 500 or so. Packers, I think, will do a lot better because remember, their record reflects when Micah Parsons had his injury. They like limped down the stretch. I think the Packers will do better. Vikings, I don't believe. Of course, I'm still sick, remember. Vikings, I don't think are going to be that good. They probably struggle unless Kyler Murray decides to cook. Lions, however, with their last place schedule, I think they're going to cook and maybe take the NFC North with the Packers being the only competitor. Panthers, I don't believe unless Bryce Young cooks. I don't think they're going to win the NFC South. I think they're going to be about the same at best. Buccaneers, I think, will bounce back and win the NFC South and do better. Falcons are going to probably be about the same. And the Saints, I don't know what to say about the Saints. The way they finished last year looked like one of the worst teams in the league, but then they won 4 out of the last 5 games. Yeah, they really screwed themselves out in the draft for doing that. Seahawks, I don't trust them against the tough schedule. I still don't trust Sam Darnold, so I think they're going to struggle. Rams, I think, are the best team in the league. I think they'll win the NFC West. 49ers, I think they're going to regress like the Seahawks, but still maybe contend for a wild card. And the Cardinals are the Cardinals. So, my predictions for the division: Bills the AFC East, Ravens AFC North. The AFC South is so tough. I think I might take maybe a bold pick and maybe pick the Colts for right now because I don't trust the Texans or Jaguars and all that. AFC West, I'm picking the Chiefs in a bold take. NFC East Eagles, NFC North Lions, NFC South Buccaneers, NFC West Rams. And then maybe for wild cards, In the AFC, my choices would be like the Patriots, Steelers, maybe Bengals, Jaguars, maybe Texans, maybe Colts, maybe if they don't win the AFC South, Titans, maybe because of how potentially how unstable the AFC West, the AFC South is. Broncos and Chargers. For the NFC, I'm picking the Cowboys, maybe Giants. I'm pretty confident in. Bears, maybe Packers. I don't know about the Vikings. Panthers, maybe Falcons, maybe Seahawks, and 49ers. All right. So that's my reaction to the schedule and my reaction and how I think each team's going to do in 2026. Man, September 7th cannot come fast enough for a Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl rematch. I cannot wait. So I hope you all enjoy and see you all next time.